It's vegan recipes with Pat and Emily.
Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Well, my mom's kitchen. Today on It's Vegan, we are gonna make Shish-Ta-What, which is my take on Shish-Ta-Wook, Lebanese style. And I added the what because we don't have any chicken and we don't have any skewers. But what we do have is tofu, and right now we are gonna mix up our marinade. Into the marinade, we add vegan yogurt, crushed garlic, water, lemon juice, smoked paprika, tomato paste, sumac, salt, and black pepper. Also, while you are making this, you need to mix it and let it marinate in a non-reactive dish, which would be glass, like I'm using here. I feel like these are ingredients that I would never pick to mix together, but I love this stuff. I'm gonna mix it until you get all of the lumps of tomato paste out of it. I feel like this already smells delicious. Now, so we have the marinade all mixed up, we are gonna slice our tofu. For this, I like to cut it down lengthwise, and then I cut it in half. And half this way. Then I cut each half into thirds. In theory, you could skewer these and put them on the grill. I've never tried that. I'm going to put some of our marinade down to cover the bottom of this dish. I'm going to put all of our tofu chunks in here with little spaces between them so we can get marinade all around them. Then we add the rest of the marinade, and you can marinate this for, I would say, as little as 4 hours, but I feel like it's best if you do it overnight. And always when marinating tofu, I feel like it's a good idea to freeze it and let it thaw. It somehow gets some of the liquid out, and I feel like it gets it more ready to take on the marinade. Everyone is now covered. We are going to put a lid on it, put it in the fridge, and let it marinate. The weirdest ingredient, or most unusual ingredient, I added to my Shish-Ta-What is sumac. And I gathered this myself. It's not poisonous sumac, it's staghorn sumac. Where I grew up in Pennsylvania, this grows. I pick these off the tree, they're in bigger cones, and then I pull them off of these little tiny stems. Inside all these, we get all these little fuzzy like seeds off, and then you'll have like this stem left. And I have not found any other way to do this. I'm sure I could buy sumac online. But then I take all of these little pieces that I have broken off, and this is very time consuming. If you have any suggestions, I'm open. And when I have it in this bowl, in the sifter, I sift it back and forth. I added this step because when you first start doing this, you get all these little pieces off that we don't necessarily want to be in there. So then I would take that, and that would be my stuff that I would throw away. And believe it or not, I then take these and I put them into a food processor. And I blitz them up. I've already gone through and cleaned these with the first process. So I'm going to take some of these, put them in the food processor. I'll blitz them up real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, just finished. And you can see there's little bits of stuff sticking to the sides in here. You can kind of scrape it together. That is the fuzzy little stuff we're looking for. So we're going to take some of these back into the strainer. I already cleaned the garbage out of this bowl that we don't want to keep. And then you just start to this time you're more trying to press them down the sides of it. You don't want to put them in a blender to do that. It will break up the little seeds that are inside of these, and you're not going to want to have that all in your sumac. So these I would keep going for a while longer, but you can see it's starting to collect on the bottom of the strainer, and these are the little bits that you want, and then I collect them. You can see how much I've gotten so far. The first step, which I didn't mention, is cutting them off the tree doing a rough trimming and then putting them in your dehydrator. And then that is when this fun starts. After I've ground them all up, I put them in here because I can't get everything off the bottom of it, and I will later add water to this and make Sumac aid. It's pretty much the same process as making sun tea. Welcome back. We've had our Shish-Ta-What marinating overnight. I got a baking tray that I lined with parchment paper, and I cook it on a wire pulling rack. So now we're gonna pull all of these out of here. And you can see that some places have like marinade on them and some have some that's not. So I have a brush here and I will go through and spread it out a little better before I put them in the oven. Since this marinade has not had any raw meat in it, if you have leftovers, you can totally save them and put them on rice or whatever. It's a delicious marinade. I try to get all of it on my shish tawook. I'm gonna have to squish everybody a little closer together. Gotta get one more on here. Alright. I think that one has a little white spot there. Just add a little more. Alright, I'm putting these in the oven. And along with that, I'm going to throw some tater tots in there because we're going to mix it up and do it American style and do tater tots instead of french fries. We're back. We pulled the Shish-Ta-What out of the oven. I plated it up with my tater tots here and some steamed broccoli. I have not mastered the art of making toom, but I did find this in my local Kroger. It is a garlic dip and spread that is pretty similar to toom in my opinion. You can be the judge of that. Sometimes this would be a wrap. I also saved my extra marinade to dip my broccoli in it. So good and garlicky. The marinade and that Shish-Ta-What I think is just so good. It's garlicky, kind of lemony with the tomato. I think you're gonna love it. Give it a try. Subscribe. The recipe's below with a link to a printable PDF. Keep watching for some bloopers. I will need a piece of part. Do you want to pause and come in? Well, I